joined by a huge legend in Kannada cinema and Indian cinema generally. And I am just so blessed to have Kichcha Sudeep with us here on Filme Shilmy. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us and a huge welcome to you.
My pleasure, sir. My honor.
Wonderful, sir. Now, firstly, I've got to begin by saying, Sudeep, sir, your character in Vikrant Rona has left us all in intrigue. And going by the little teaser that we've seen, it seems to be a melting pot of different genres, including mystery, action, adventure, and thriller. So, how would you describe your character and what makes it stand out amidst the amazing career that you've had so far?
Well, sir, the character is, see, basically as an actor, whenever we have, we read a script, we definitely have a good role. That's what we identify first. And after that comes the character per se. I think that is what every actor defines by himself. I think every actor given the same role, different actors are they going to portray it in a different format. And that's what makes each one an actor by his own kind. So yeah, of course, I have my nuances and approach towards it, and the director liked it, and all said and done. See, there's every actor definitely carries a personal personality. Everything, certain a part of it is taken, made it into a character. Part of a lot of things we have observed over the years, something which should have caught your eye. We capture it and make it a character in person. And after that, when you all bundle it up and pile it into one character, something pops out. And that something popping out has been a very great one for Vikrant Rona, with due respect to the time and all the situations kept in mind. I think we were just lucky that it just shaped into one of the wonderful swags character and something I enjoyed over the time. And when you come into a film, Vikrant Rona, once he enters, I'm telling you, it's very captivating. It's not because I guess I'm doing it or I played the role, but as a character itself, it's humongous. So I guess whatever I've added has sugar-coated the character and the personality. So that's something you want to take home.
In fact, on the first instance, when I saw it, I mean, he's introduced as the devil, but yet it was very interesting because I kept thinking of Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't know. That was just maybe my initial instinct or my initial sort of reaction to the character. But it's really
because
nice.
he's on a ferry. Because he's on a ferry.
Yes, exactly. And I think what's also because of the sort of the nature of the story and where it's set, it kind of in a way seems to pay homage to sort of films that we've grown up watching, like Indiana Jones, like The Goonies and stuff like that. So I guess obviously not to compare, of course, but how much of a reference point I think was those films or were those movies, I think, in creating Vikrant Rona?
I have grown up watching Raiders of the Lost Ark. I've grown up watching Indiana Jones, and I would be lying if I say the thought didn't influence us. So here, the story has got nothing to do with Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Indiana Jones, or anything of that sort. But yes, the decorum just excited, and I thought we should see here. We had a story which suited this kind of a decorum, this kind of an aesthetics, this kind of a jungle, this kind of this, storytelling. So yeah, we wanted to adapt something, and of course, India has always been known for its jungles earlier. So we had to go a little period, and when we went a little period, and the moment we started crafting it, it was very close collision to the thought of Indiana Jones and Raiders. All said and done, yes, this is definitely not an adventure film, but this is definitely a thriller. This is definitely a thriller, mystery, action. Yeah, so there's a land which has got a lot of mystery around it. Is always going to be a very curious element to your storytelling. A curious element to your watching when you're there. Okay, what's going to happen next? So what is this? And suddenly there are scary moments. There are suddenly greater moments, exciting moments. And if you take as adventure, I would say there are elements which takes you closer to all that too. All right, so I guess the whole aesthetics around the storytelling is what makes Vikrant Rona special. And seldom do we come across a storyline which can be fitted into a thought like Raiders or Indiana. You just can't make a deliberate attempt. Sure. It has to just collaborate with each other, your thought and the thought that already existed. I guess that made it even more special to us today.
That's interesting. And I think the fact that you also have kids involved in the story, which, like you said, it seems to be a thriller element, I think it just adds to that whole vulnerability aspect
Yeah,
of the story. So I'm looking forward to seeing the role the kids play in the whole story and the way it all pans out. So I'm looking forward
yeah,
to that. But so as far as I'm aware, the film will have a pan-India release. I believe Salman Khan is also what I think he's presenting the film in Hindi as well.
yeah.
Z has come on board, which is amazing. So given that crossovers and Indian cinema has become a bit of a level ground now, I think now that collaborations are a lot more frequent than before. Do you feel the demand and Kannada and pan-Indian collaborations have increased actually? I mean, even though that we are seeing a lot of collaborations, I just wanted to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, I guess, it's a matter of time when storytelling became universal. Yeah. Long back, it was Chinese when they just started collaborations and then they started telling their films in English. So their language traveled in English and the universal. It traveled globally, one of the first of its kind.
Yeah.
And we actually, as a people, wherever we belong to, we started watching a Bruce Lee, we started watching a Jackie Chan, we started watching all the films. Though there were subtitles, though it was dubbed in English, the lipping didn't matter to us. It was the excitement what we used to go and watch.
Mm.
So I guess we are very late. In comparison, we are very, very late even to penetrate within India. Forget globally. Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's time that, and especially post COVID, I think with the OTT coming in and people getting exposed to all the elements of cinema, all the kinds of cinema, all the languages and nuances of cinema, it's time. But all said and done, I guess South films had done great on satellites long, long back. I can say even 2 decades ahead back, if you go, the satellites were doing fantastic. But it was a matter of theatrical releases. So this is the time where even theatrical releases are happening and people are coming to theaters to watch South Indian films dubbed in Hindi or made in Hindi directly in all the languages. But I guess what is exciting is that the people are welcoming cinema. It doesn't matter where it is coming from. It is not even that I'm going to say a Kannada film or a Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam. They're just welcoming good cinema. They're welcoming good cinema with good publicity, making sure we reach them and give them enough reasons why to come to the theater.
Mhm.
I guess, it's a wonderful time the cinema is going through right now. I
Yeah.
guess that's something that should encourage us to tell better stories now.
You know what? You're right. You're definitely right. And actually, the way I see it and the way this year is going so far, I would even call it a renaissance because there's so many great films from the South that are doing well. I mean, recently I watched Vikram, Kamal Hassan's film, and I cannot stop gushing over it. Like, I've never felt this satisfied from an Indian film for a long, long time. And I think it's great that, the power of South Indian cinema is happening, even in Kannada as well. Of course, you had KGF sequel. You've obviously got 777 Charlie coming up. Now you've got Vikrant Rona coming up. So I can see it being that renaissance stage or that stage where we suddenly see that momentum even getting quicker, which is great. Um, but I think one thing that always worries me, Sudeep sir, is that when there's a mass of something, it almost sometimes जब कुछ बढ़ता है तो फिर वो spill भी हो जाता है कभी कभार. And जब हम फिल्मों के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, we're talking about an influx of major releases in numerous Indian languages in the pan-Indian market. Do you sorry, that the market could actually become saturated? Is there ever a fear in you that शायद ये ज़्यादा कुछ हो सकता है? How do you feel about that?
See, I guess this world has always operated with the survival of the fittest, sir. Survival of the smartest.
Yeah.
See, there is going to be, just because you own a Rolls Royce or just because you own a Bentley or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, doesn't mean the roads are going to be empty for you. There will be traffic. All right. So how you pass through the traffic and how you actually slide, how you just glide, and how you reach your destiny is going to definitely define you in person as to how you still made it. So just because, let's say, you're a name today and you think you have a content, it doesn't mean that the road belongs only to you. Of course, there will be traffic. Of course, there will be all kind of clonic films that's going to come out. If one film is a big hit, there's going to be clones. There's going to be people making films of the similar types. There's going to be everything. But then don't you think there's only one thumb one forefinger, one middle finger, one index, right? Replicas, let's not bother about it. And as let's not even say that, this road belongs only to us. This road belongs to everybody, sir. Everybody can have the equal rights when a market is open. Everybody has the equal right to explore. See, let me tell you, here what sustains by the end of it is the good intention, an intention to tell a story. And people will recognize that. People will identify that. Just because there is so much of traffic, let me say you go on a road today. You see cabs this side, you see bikes, and you see cars and something. But irrelevant to all that, one car will catch your eye. One something will catch your eye. And you'll take a second look at that car or the person or the bike or whatever, for whatever the reason is. Whatever the reason is. All right, you will. So like that cinema, it is there. It is going to be there. And I think beyond all that, if you can still make your presence felt, I think that's what is going to leave you behind, and you're going to leave behind a legacy. So nothing scares me. Nothing of this sort scares me.
Wow. Fearless. I mean, I can definitely see why you and Salman sir really get along. You both have a very similar vibe, I must say, because I recently interviewed Salman sir just a few months back, and the way वो जिस तरह से explain करते हैं, वो ठहराव के साथ आप भी वैसा ही explain करते हो, and it's amazing to hear that. You were talking about legacy, right? And I must say, you are leaving such a huge legacy, and I wanted to congratulate you also for completing 26 years within the industry. So, firstly, congrats for that, and kudos for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I mean, look, despite being a huge megastar, Sudeep sir, you seem very grounded and rooted. Even right now, as we're speaking, I feel so engrossed in this interview. It does not even seem like I'm speaking with a megastar from Kannada cinema. It's so wonderful to see that approach that you have. But what keeps you so humble, and how does humility kind of help you in dealing with the highs and lows of life, do you think?
See, I have never really looked into it. I really never tried to analyze why I'm like this. I'm just like this. So probably other people around me will give you enough reasons as to why I may be like this, because I really don't give it a thought. I wake up in the morning and I start being me. Before I go to bed, I'm me. Okay, so the only time I'm not in control of myself is when I go to sleep. I don't know what I can think and what dream I'm controlling. I do not know. Apart from that, sir, I have never thought about why I'm like this. This is me. So I have never. It doesn't really bother me as to what. I mean, I'm not even like this because I want to leave behind an opinion or endorse an opinion or sell an opinion. All right. So I don't think this is a question probably people around me can answer better. I don't know. I'm like this. I've always been like this.
Okay, right. So I guess even my question just after this actually was about the image that you have. I think I read some of the people dub you as the angry young man of Sandalwood. Uh,
See,
so
I'll give you an example for that. See, we
right.
started an interview. And you started with a smile. I started with a smile, and we are going on. Our conversations are happening smooth. Let me tell you something. And then you said, as and when you're talking, also you feel this about me, is what you said. Okay, why did you feel that? Is because the way I am. And why am I like this? Is because of the way you started. It's
Mhm.
very simple. It's just a chain. Now, if you were ruthless and if you were trying to make this a very mechanical interview, sir, I would also be mechanical. All right. So it's I think it's just a perspective. And people say he's an angry young man. They may also be right. You never know, because the fact is, if somebody walks up to me and gives me a smile, sir, why will I be angry, sir? If somebody is walking up to me and they say they love me, why will I slap them, sir? And if somebody is walking up to me with a gesture wanting to hug me and give me and tell me that how important I am, why will I be angry with them? But if
Right.
somebody is actually screwing around with you, somebody is abusive with you, somebody is throwing some tantrums at you, stones at you, sir, first time around, second time around, we may ignore, thinking the fact that, okay, you should be not taking it too seriously. The third time around, I think there is some reason why we are weaker.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is when a school teacher also takes a scale and whacks around the neck and think of the hand of the child and says, "You're wrong, child. You need to get back and study." This is what even the teacher has taught us, right?
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I'm in UK, and if the teacher raises a hand against us, we
So,
basically report them to the authorities. So thankfully, no, I've not
so
experienced that, but I
I,
get where
I,
you.
I, I guess by the end of the day, sir, we will be the reflection of what the other person is. So on that cases, yeah, in that cases, if somebody comes and tells you, you know what, Sudeep is a very angry guy, man, he's like this, maybe they are right. But you just turn around and ask them what is it that they did that they saw that part. Yeah,
It's,
it's very simple, right?
very, very true. And I think this is one thing that I wanted to actually ask you because honestly, अगर हम बात कर ही रहे हैं personality के बारे में, तो my dad often tells me that अगर आप खुद में विश्वास रखते हो और अगर आप खुद में introspect करते हो, once you're sure about yourself, then what other people say about you becomes irrelevant, whether it's truth, whether it's not truth, whatever it's anything. So again, Sudeep, so how has have you always been like this, do you think, like in terms of like really confident and very assured about yourself? How has that process been like for you over time? Is it something that you've had to develop, or has it just been you?
No, sir, I don't think a personality can be developed. I think you are born with a personality. We tweak it a little, thinking that we may be wrong at times. We tweak it a little because somebody's trying to correct you. We tweak it a little sometimes because you think it's a bad time and, this blah. And then one day you realize, you don't need to tweak. You just need to go through those phases and be what you are. See, by the end of the day, we are actors only when we put on the makeup and when there's a script. But I will tell you, I will fail if I try to be an actor through my life. I can't. Somewhere I need to put the makeup down. Somewhere the screen will come down. Somewhere I will be myself. And that may not go well with the people around me because one day they will see the other side because I've been performing all these days now. I guess we should just be us, and then you'll be left with people who love you and like you,
True.
and they know you. They know you for sure.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. So I guess, this pretense is not going to take us anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have always gone against the wind. I've never been with the flow. And perhaps that is why there were so many turbulences and turmoils in my life. But I guess I faced it all with ease because I knew I'm legally right. I would be only worried the day I know I'm not legally right. Because that day law will be knocking at my door to take me. If law is not knocking at your door, I think you're fine. You should not be worried. See, if I've chosen the field of art like this, cinema like this, you can't just expect everybody to just praise you. There will be tomatoes flying across and eggs thrown at you. But I guess it's all about a learning. It's all about dodging. It's all about making sure you're right. You know. And more than anything, I guess when you look at your own films and when you look at your own life, it definitely tells you in volumes what you are.
Right.
Don't bother. Don't bother about what others are saying or what people are saying. And one more thing is there. We as human people, at least for me, I always look at it this way. There are crores and crores and crores of people telling me they love me. There are crores of people wanting to touch me, crores of people wanting to have a chat with me, have a coffee with me. They send chocolates, they send chickies, they send so much. When there are so many crores of people around you loving you, why should we be? How do you expect me to identify that 150, 500 people who think ill of me? You tell me that. How do I identify them between this crowd?
Very true. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
coming from a place where I'm standing, sir, I can't identify, sir. So if somebody is asking me a question as to why do people think, then I have a question for that person. When there are so many crores saying that Sudeep, we love you, you didn't hear that, you heard only this. So that means you heard what you wanted to hear.
G. Mm.
So I guess the question is ask yourself, why is it that this impressed you more than that? So I will leave the question at that. So that's got nothing to do with me, sir. For the where I am standing, sir, I think I see a lot of beautiful people and a lot of beautiful voices and mails and sweets and hugs and loves and everything. So I guess I'm not really worried about that.
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you, there's a lot of love for you out there, and that is for certain. I mean, including myself also. So I'm really, really happy that we're doing this interview because it means a lot actually to be speaking with you. So I'm very fortunate that this opportunity has come about. But I think it's very interesting looking at the sort of filmography you've had. I mean, you've been the hero in many films, and you've also been the villain as well in a few films too. So, in what way has playing such roles and these different characters, I guess, influenced your perception of human beings and the people that exist within our society?
The only influence is I didn't let anybody's thoughts and ideas and perceptions influence me. I went by my instinct. I felt I should do something, I did. There are many reasons why I felt. Sometimes I felt the film needed me. Sometimes I felt a friend needed me. Sometimes I felt a colleague needed me. So I guess there are reasons as to there are different reasons for different films. Like a Dabangg, if I did, I just felt a brother needed me. And I think I will do anything for Salman sir because I guess he's a great human. And it is more because of Sohail, brother, that I did this. And I have no regrets, sir, because I think they are wonderful people to work with. They cared for me a lot. They loved me a lot. Till date today, I don't see a percentage of it having gone down. And they also know, Salman Bhai knows that I have never misused him in any manner just because we work together or I know him. I'm always welcome in his house. See, I guess we as brothers and we as friends, we protect each other's, you know, whatever earning has a name we have today. So I think whatever collaboration I have with Salman sir is just a matter of love, affection, and on a human ground, or as a family ground.
Mhm.
Apart from that, I guess whenever I've been other like I did Saira Narasimha Reddy, and I
Yes.
think it was a son's dream for a father that he wanted to do such a big film for father, and I think I connected with Ram. And when he asked me, I didn't want to say no because I wanted to fulfill his dream. I wanted to be a part of the dream he has for his father. So there are different agendas. You know why I said. So as far as an Eega is concerned, I never looked at it like a villain. I looked at it like a Joker in a Batman film.
Ah,
So my hero is a Batman, but only thing he's small. He's also wearing a mask. And in any Batman film, if you go, only person you remember is a Joker, not the Batman, because most of the
true.
time he's masked. I don't know. So you remember all the Jokers, and all the Jokers, most of them are played by fabulous actors. There is nobody not so famous doing it.
Mm.
Everybody were big. And I think if they can do that role, there's a reason. And Eega was a mono acting. And I think when Rajmouli sir narrated it to me, he narrated the entire script in like 10 seconds. And I accepted it because the only thing that came to me is this is more like a Batman film. Okay,
Mm.
I'm the Joker without the Joker makeup, right? That's okay with me. And I think we could do. So I guess as an actor, I have the only thing that I went by my instinct is I didn't want to kind of tie myself up for one particular road, one particular name, fame, or an agenda. So
Mm.
when I loved cinema, sir. I love everything about cinema. If something excites me, trust me, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. So I have not come here with only a thought of being a star and being a icon and being the super thing and nothing like that. I guess I'm not cut for that. I love to do, but only thing it has to excite me.
Mhm.
Something has to impress me, and I will do it.
And I think again, just hearing your thoughts and the way you articulate it, I really would like to think that, being patient and I think having that empathy as a human being, which you obviously have, I feel like that really is necessary for a craft like acting, right? I mean, would you agree on that? Like, being a very compassionate human being, being grounded. Do you think that is something which is very fundamental for any actor?
It has worked for me. That much I can say. It works for me, and I've seen this working for many more people. So I
Mm.
cannot say that I will generalize this, but I guess it's about choices we make, and I guess this suits me best, and this is what I have made of myself. This is a choice I have made.
Mhm. Right. Now, I know masala cinema has always been major money spinners, and in Indian cinema generally. It's always been, a form of escapism, and people enjoy watching it, as do I. You've been the face of many as well, of many masala films as well. Do you feel like the evolvement of society and the awareness of certain social issues will now make this style more palatable now to audiences, especially of younger audiences who are sort of trying to get their grips of life and today's generation too?
What I have learned in life, one thing, so I think people all will learn. Don't try to teach. The day you think that it is your responsibility to teach, you will fail. They
Mhm.
will not accept. They're paying money to come and get entertained. Just entertain. In that, yeah, there are certain emotions we speak about and certain values we bring forth. I guess it should end there. You know, there are responsibilities in personal life, probably how we are, which can influence people, how we do what we do. And that can also push across certain things like, people watch you up front and closely. Oh, look at him, he did this. Yeah, this is right. We should also do this. But cinema is not that platform. So cinema is a platform for story. Cinema is a platform where Harry Potter sits in a broom and flies. We cannot say it flies. And we cannot say we are teaching, don't buy a car, buy a broom instead. You know, we, we can't do that. So I guess, people make their choices. They will learn out of life what has to be learned, and they make their choices irrelevant to whether you say it, you don't say it. I
Hmm.
guess we are all entertainers by the end of the day. A joker in a circus can't suddenly behave like a tiger or a lion, sir. There are tigers and lions, and he comes and does his part. We are no better than that, sir. We are all those jokers in the industry today. We are all here to entertain people when they're upset, sad, they come home, come to the theater with the family. We try our level best to bring about few smiles and send them back home.
Brilliant. Yes, absolutely. It is. And like I said, escapism has always been the key factor, I think, for these style of movies. And it seems to have worked. And there is definitely a magic in them that I can definitely root for as well. But I think, like I was mentioning earlier, it's wonderful to see Kannada cinema like developing and really thriving. I think the word thriving is the best way I can describe it right now. And it's really expanded as well. And of course, big blockbusters like KGF have in a way put the language cinema on a global map now. Of course, there's been some great films that have really come from Kannada too. So again, if I could just get a bit of your opinion on the growth that we're seeing, and how do you hope to see the industry going further within the next couple of months or days, even?
One film doing extremely well is actually a good platform for many people to drive on the road. But I wouldn't say that it's going to help the industry because, sir, I think cinema is all about individuality. It's an individual effort. Okay, a couple of films coming together, a couple of good films from the same fraternity or the same industry is definitely going to be a good help. But one good film from one industry is definitely lays down a very good platform for the remaining vehicles to travel. But then it becomes the quantity and the quality of the other films too. You really can't say that it's going to push the industry. I think we can't take the responsibility of any industry. So we are all individuals in every industry, working for our own films and trying to make our films reach further distances. I guess it's a collective effort that is needed to be lifting all these things. We can't one film, two films can't do that.
Hmm. And I think again, just to bring it back to Vikrant Rona, because it is a very
Yeah.
different type of a movie. We've not really seen these type of Indian films, being created as well. So I guess, I mean, I'm sure you're not here to, हाथ में मतलब तलवार लिए तो आप नहीं जा रहे हो कि मतलब हम एक क्रांति लाएंगे इंडियन सिनेमा में या वो करेंगे लेकिन obviously because it is a very different film, how do you hope that this can really, I guess, encourage more creative and diverse stories through this film in particular?
I hope it does. I'm not sure. As long as I know that I have made a film and my intention is to make this film penetrate as much as possible across everywhere, not just India, but globally too. I guess that is my effort right now, not to, as I told you, teach anything or impress anybody or make this a grammar, make this a dictionary that people need to follow. This
Hmm.
is a thought that came to us. We have worked very honestly towards it. We have put in our best effort, and right now we are trying to promote it equally well, trying to see that where all we can penetrate and how all we can penetrate, so that our next film has a better window, so that this is going to help my next film.
Yeah.
And in this process, if other films it helps, I think I'm very happy to do so. But though it's not the primary intention we're going ahead with right now. Our primary intention is that we have created something. We want to give it the best it deserves.
Mhm.
With that, it will definitely open up windows and doors for every other films too. So I guess it's something they need to put in efforts after that.
Right. And on a final note as well, Sleep Sir, and I know you're not someone who thinks too deeply or thinks, a lot. You go with the flow and you basically take each step at a time. But how would you describe this 26 years? I mean, what would you say is your motto of life right now at this stage of your life?
So when I started my career, I never expected a number 26. I just wanted to give one hit and I wanted to give one houseful. And after one houseful, I waited for one big hit. And after one big hit, I wanted another couple of hits. Then I wanted to make a permanent name because even after one hit, there was nothing guaranteed. And then I went on to give some more films. And then still I realized that there is no guarantee to anybody's career, even if you're doing something. Then, there's always Next thing you put for yourself, let me do that now. This is over. Let me do that now. So over the time when I was traveling, I never realized the number. Suddenly one day somebody tells me, sir, you completed 25 years. I said, oh, okay. So, the point that was never the agenda, and it is not even an agenda for me. See, I wake up feeling 29 every day. And I have that urge and I have that energy to do. And I always build that energy to tell better, tell better, tell better. Okay, there are youngsters coming in. What are they doing? They are doing, let us also do. See, I guess this number 26, number 27, number 30, neither it is going to give you this extra respect. Neither is it going to give you this extra money. Neither is it going to give you an extra business. What you did in this 26 years is what is going to define your payment, your business globally, your positioning in the industry, to everything. I think if you ask me there, today I feel, yeah, I have crafted something where there is a little bit of belief of buyers in my films, little bit of belief for the audiences who are going and buying a ticket. I think, yeah, to get this belief, sir, it has taken me 26 years.
Brilliant. Well, I think अगर ये हुआ है 26 years में तो फ्यूचर में क्या क्या हो सकता है मैं इमेजिन करके बहुत खुश हो रहा हूँ just to imagine what more brilliant stuff we have coming from you, Sudeep. So, but I think it's great, and I think I'm all for it. I think it's wonderful to see. It's wonderful to hear your views actually about life, and it's just very therapeutic. Also, I must tell you, to hear these views about life and how you deal with circumstances around you, because being a creative is never easy, I'm sure. Especially in this industry where I'm sure you've had a lot of stuff come your way, whether it's personal, professional, but the way you've kept yourself strong, I think is very inspirational, Sudeep sir. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you so much for joining me on Filme Shilmy. I think it's such a privilege to have you on our platform, and I cannot wait to see Vikrant Rona. I'm already awestruck by the teaser. I'm just waiting to watch the trailer and then the film soon. So thank you very much.
I will tell you something, and all the people watching this, you will not be disappointed with the trailer.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And I can't wait to see it. You got my excitement even more up now. See? अब इंतजार और भी ज्यादा हो जाएगा हमारा. But no. But thank you so much, sir, for joining me and wishing you all the very best for Vikrant Rona. And hopefully I can't wait to chat with you super soon again. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir. You take a time off and have a good day. It's very sweet speaking to you too.
Love you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.